swear, every time that I try to use, like, load up the game itself, it always does that. I don't know why it always takes a massive FPS hit whenever you do something else. Because then it starts dropping the frames and it's like it messes with the audio. But whatever. Let's get started though. If I can find it. Awesome. Let's actually turn on the game audio. Because every time I do this, I have to... There it is. Alright everybody, what's happening? It's your boy Hardcorn, and we're back today with some brand new content. We got ourselves Miss Phantasma up in the building. You know her, you love her, you love to see all about her too. She's got it going on, that's for sure. She's great in many terms, she's very strong. But most importantly, we're here to see what she does for the most part. It's summertime, so we switched up the lobby theme to the Summer Island version. Maybe we can unlock that too for everybody else. But we have all three on the front screen because they all share weapons. We have the prototype, the version 1, and the version 2. These lovely ladies sure know how to really play with a pair of balls and know how to do something special with them. But let's go over Miss Phantasma herself. Oh shit. Switch that over here. Okay. So for starters off, Miss Phantasma is very special in the fact that she's a suppressed demon. She gets to do everything that she's ever wanted to do in the entire game because it lets her have access to extremely high damage materials and the demon racial stuff. Because it's pretty split down the middle between demons and suppressed items. I mean, you're either a demon or a human in this game because if you're a machine, well, you might as well just be a second-class citizen at that point. So she gets to have all the rest of them enjoy every single aspect about it. I'm very surprised that happened. Okay. And for the most part, since she shares all those weapons, she gets to have access to everything possible for all three, for both Kiara and Elnor. She can't use everything, but they're nice stat sticks. Like, who doesn't love Yometsu Hegi as a what does he call it? As a stat stick that you can put in your second slot and just make her hit like a fucking truck. Actually, that'll be a fun idea. Let's take all those off. Switch the pots around. And we'll use something that doesn't have, that she can't get any bonuses from. Because for the most part, what is it? She plays she plays a bit differently in the fact that she is both physical and melee. It's a tough way to go for in terms of characters that when they get split damage like this, but I think they really put their collective brain cells together and managed to make something actually really special. Move this around. I say that in the sense that she has this fixed attack that isn't very good in most situations, but she has to live with it. That's like the one caveat that I have with her, but even then, they give you Dream Claw to help get around that situation, which is actually a very efficient idea because her basic attack string just sits there and just fires small projectiles that move extremely slowly. I can't be dealing with that. It puts her... They have Pierce, which is nice for picking up a ton of particles by itself. That's something that I can really get down with. Dream Claw just effectively takes the Pierce idea and makes her move at like Kurenai speeds, which is fantastic because Dream Claw itself is actually one of the more fun ways to play her because you can go straight up with a basic attack type build and just totally murder the entire competition. But upon further testing with Succubus Whispers over here, this is a difficult attack to hit, like when you're in a very tough situation, because she gets totally bowled over every time something big happens. She has no armor on any of her attacks, so you actually have to. Well, you have a high risk reward situation with Succubus Whispers, because if you really want the full effect, you have to put it in between like every single enemy on the floor. When you have the set effect, though, it makes it like 50% larger, so it becomes a pretty sizable pool and very versatile to get in between even just the fringes of enemies. But you still have to lay it down. So this week is machines. So that means when you fight machines, you have to deal with the ads that spawn, the machines having a hellacious amount of armor and HP, and they also have attacks that they can just kick straight through you and interrupt that. Not to mention their lightning. Their lightning itself is a perfect example of this. Is like when, let's say you're trying to lay this down, you're in close in between enemies, and they have their good old-fashioned knockback feature, which is their fucking lightning. They drop it, you get the skill, start to cast it, the cooldown activates, but you get nothing out of it. This is a very common occurrence with her if she has to be played with AI, or, well, your AI partners are attacking and then they just get totally zapped or hit, and they draw attention away from where you don't want them to be. This is the same thing with Phantasmal Mirror. Phantasmal Mirror is like the most important skill that she probably has in her entire kit. Like there's no joke about it, because it takes the heat off of her and the rest of the team, puts it on that one clone. This clone does not have an HP limitation or anything like that. It's just straight up time. So it's completely invincible. It'll absorb every projectile, every hit. And if you don't get it right, like your teammates will essentially just run straight into this thing, because the enemies will be on top of it, and then for some reason suddenly hurt themselves immensely. It's like blessing and a curse in VR, because it's really good for corralling enemies, but at the same time, you have to be a little careful with it. But for the most part, I just really like it because it takes the heat off of her. She can get stuff like Crunching Fear, Succubus Whispers. She can get a Slasher Horror in, Twister Dance, Impaling Terror, Nightmare. This is what enables her to do like most of her stuff. And we're in red, so it lasts 6 seconds. And that means this has a cooldown of, I think, 8 or 9 seconds. So this thing lasts a while, because it's a vacuum effect, but it doesn't require you to beat down their armor, which is, vacuum effects in the first place shouldn't have to worry about armor. They really shouldn't in the first place, because vacuum effects are like a year 1, year 2 type of thing, and they almost always are like underwhelming, because you have to break people's armor, and when you're fighting really high level bosses and things that are pretty bulky in the first place, you drop a field and it just, it's very underwhelming and terrible. Taunt is a different version of that same idea. In fact, in the fact that it I think the first time they ever introduced Taunt was when they had the not Mob Boss Oboro, it's Troop Leader Oboro's supporter effect, where it throws out a human clone and it attracts all enemy attention towards it. It does not care about armor, it does not care about status, it picks up every single enemy on the screen, which is a way better vacuum, and it doesn't have a drag effect though. The enemies have to come to it, so they have to walk. That is for better or worse. Like, I don't really ever see myself not ever using this skill unless it's something I know I can 100% completely overwhelm. Like with White Feather, you can totally lock down enemies like day in and day out. This is you probably don't need that on that one. You'd want like Clinging Nightmare and Succubus Whispers. So like any high multi-hit attack like Twister Dance, so you can start doing crazy stuff like chaining armor breaks back to back, which is like the thing to do with her because she has so many projectiles. And also, we got over here, Horror and Dance both have healing. They're effectively tailor-made for VR situations or just like 1v1. Like Twister Dance here, it's like it's categorized as melee. She has to be within like, what is this? For one cast, 1, 2, 3 meters. That's actually 2 meters away for her. It's a bit tough to pull off. It's very slow because she gets in a fixed position and just drills for damage. You have more mileage out of Fear in the first place because it's just a gigantic nuke. And then we have Clinging Nightmare. This is effectively just Serpent Blaze at home. I love this skill a lot though. This is actually like one of the most fun things about her build, about her skill set in general, because all it does is just throw down an entirely like a scratching explosion. You use White Feather, you use all your critical supporters, and it just like burns the enemy down for like consistent damage. Because this lasts, let's see, the cooldown is 7 seconds. If you actually use the whole set effect, it lasts for 6. So if you're really good about it, you can get these to link back to back, which is fantastic. Because I think the recovery period from when an enemy hits Groggy is like 4 seconds. So you can actually, if you're really, really down with it, you can actually probably use the same one and increase it increase like armor break duration. But granted, this is all using White Feather because it's like the best thing in the entire world for armor breaking. Impaling Terror was one that I never really found a lot of use for outside of Arena, because since her skills aren't armored, this is a very slow, deliberate slash. The AoE for it is huge. It does a lot of damage, but if she gets hit in any capacity during it, you're just done. Now you have to wait like 9 seconds? Yeah, like 9 seconds for this. Like, no thank you. But other than that, let's get started. And finally, we also have her rival outfit. So happy about that. I got it just in time for this, which is great because you can now get, like, let's see, we got Fantasma colors, we got Lilum colors, we got customs. I actually liked the whole fact that they gave her custom equipment, because she has Lilum's wings and Lilum's horns, and not to mention the outfit, which is fantastic. I love it. Do I have my damage all stuff? Yeah. Because we don't need to actually start building directly towards the enemies until I get there later. There, we got the event to clear. But let's take her to the tower first, because we have several things. I have several things I want us to do. Is like we'll take her to 100. We'll finish the event with her. And we'll probably do some VR. There we go. And since there's no reason not to ever have critical hit boosting on her, because it just makes such a huge difference. We don't need that. Because in the tower, you're allowed to crit. White Feather doesn't need to come in until later. Actually, let's just split up the colors. That sounds fine. Oh, they don't have any of those. I guess I'll just take this from Astaroth. Whispers. Dreamclaw. There we go. But now that that's all the way, how's everybody doing today? It's Saturday night. I got vacation. We're streaming out our favorite Taimanins. Absolutely tearing it up out here today. Very good. Very good stuff out here today. See, that's the thing about also with her full blue skill. Her full blue skill targets the furthest enemy. So you have to do a little bit of manipulation if you're trying to use it in a multi-enemy scenario. And since she's not armed at any of her attacks, it's pretty easy to get lost in the sauce that is all of her basic attacks. Like, I remember when I was recording the actual video for her, I can't see anything because there's so many fucking particle effects, and her character model is enormous. In more ways than one. Like, my god, she's fucking huge with like the big boobies in the butt situation. But it's also very difficult to see what's going on when I've got, look at these, we got damage numbers, we got wicked weaves, we got her wings. I can barely fucking see. Right now we're just using regular like damage to all enemies Magatamas because like this is pre-50. There's no reason to just like bowl everything over with like full damage yet, because at 100 we have to plan for racials, which is super duper important. But look at that, look at the range on that. I managed to hit something like 2 meters away with the swipe itself. I would consider Fantasma like an A+ type of character. Pretty much S for the most part because of what she does, what she brings to the table. She brings so many options and so many like answers to problems that don't even exist yet. Like, you have to think about it like this. She has a unique debuff that applies regular defense down and a separate, I think it's an attack down. I think that's what this does. No, it just applies a defense down. Yeah, no, it applies groggy, that's it. Because I was thinking of something like it's terror. Terror gives slow and becomes groggy. This gives groggy on 10 stacks and also reduces defense by 20%. Like I say, like S is like, you know, she's like Astaroth is an obviously S. Astaroth is S because she has like stupidly powerful skills at like the lowest cost possible. Awesome. Her ass is so fat it went straight through the floor. Like her and Felicia, they essentially don't need much to get going, and they offer so much utility that it doesn't even matter. Fantasma just needs a little bit of help. Her basic, like, her regular attack damage is like honestly okay at best. It just gets bolstered by the fact that she applies like such huge defense down. Like, if you took out the defensive properties of all of her attacks, the defense down properties of like her aura, her unique debuff, and everything like that together, you would have a character that's just like cool looking, but with like some problems inside. She's quite honestly one of the coolest characters they've released this year. Yeah, I imagine all the free-to-play people will get her as soon as she releases, because she has a similar situation to Rin, where they release a character who is very, very strong, and is also very pretty at the same time. So that means the character is going to be the most busted thing and the most direct option immediately people want to go buy. It makes team composition like super easy, that's for sure. Like I think now you can probably just go like what, Rin, not Shiranui, Rin, Fantasma, and like some other third thing, probably Astaroth. You can run just full suppress characters and be fine with it. Because I think everybody just does like what they do their big mommy team, which is like Rin, Shiranui, and probably Fantasma, or Chizuru. She's certainly worth it, because man is she strong. I more or less I just like the fact that Dream Claw is like so much fun to use, because she's not going to miss with this attack. I mean, look how far away she is from like most of the enemies in the first place. But something I do want to address though is that earlier I had said she is the replacement for Chizuru, and that couldn't obviously be. It is right. She is a replacement. I mean, she's made literally by Oe Nagisa. They're both designed by the same person, but they both are red debuffers, except one's human, one's demon. But there's also that degree of inherent safety that Fantasma provides with her healing and all of her nuking stuff. Like, she doesn't suck absolute balls to play sometimes. Like in these small close quarters areas, like look how much of her slash attack and like the punches and swipes take up the entire arena. Like how much more could you ever ask for? She's absolutely perfect for the people who would probably like just buy her in most situations. She's very brain dead to play. That is, until you have to get in any sort of more serious content. Like where life is actually an issue. Well, she replaces Chizuru with the fact that she deals so much defense down and has way more options regarding... Well, most of her slows are relegated to blue, because when you're playing red, that's designed for her to heal. It's designed for her to heal and deal defense down. It's a similar situation to Chizuru, who does both in the same color. Phantasma cannot heal the team, but she certainly, like, one of the most important things she does is the fact that she buffs the entire team for extra damage, which is absolutely nuts to think about. Now I can get away with that. Where is she at? Oh, I can't find her. She's one of my favorites. There she is. I put her on Spinel. What is it, Muramachi Kade? Kanade, that's it. Kanade is one of my favorite supporters because it's whenever you have a fast character a fast attacking character like Melee Phantasma, she can easily max out her stacks of like 50% attack up. And she does it so quickly, she doesn't like she'll drop all the stacks because they only last 2 seconds. But even then, she'll get them back just as quickly. And even then, since it doesn't just buff melee damage, it buffs all of her damage. So if you're really quick about it, you can do it for like really hard bursting. So you haven't played there since Miss Ann Rose. Have there been any awesome improvements or updates? Well, in that time, they have released the last 25 floors of the tower. Oh wow! I just realized that. That's how much of a defense reduction those enemies have. They have like that's probably like what 70 or 80% off. They released many characters at the same time. One's everybody's like after a door or something like that. They have expanded the. Let's see, they didn't do anything with the armory. Oh, I'm trying to remember. Let's see, I think in that same time they released team setups. I think that was before Ann Rose though. Ooh, that's loud. Recently they that's right, they changed the way skills work, like skill points. When you get all skills to 25, you can go to your status screen, go to the stats training. You can take your leftover skill points that you're going to acquire. When you keep playing characters, you can put them in here, and it gives you bonus stats. However, these bonus stats, when they're maxed out at like level 75, are only equivalent to about 2 costumes worth. So it's minimal at best. It's just some place to keep dumping them. But one important thing is that, like, when you level up your skills to max, it's like HP and defense before a big update recently they had was maximum level is 25%. They upped defense to max out at 50%. So when you get it at maxed out innately, that's 50% innate defense. Then you have a whole bunch of other stuff that comes in there, and like with awakening points and everything. Like you have awakening points and everything that make it to where you have effectively almost no defense reduces logarithmically. So you have your defense, the higher, the more defense you stack, the lower value it gets out of it. But you can get up to a certain point where it's just like you take almost no damage. It takes like really high VR levels to really start hurting you. Ann Rose is actually from about 2 years ago. Because I remember about 2 years. It's like I remember because I started my job right after because right after I started, and then like right at the end of the month was Anrose, I think. No, it was in like the middle of the month. Yeah, the whole incident is, it still leaves scars upon the entire community. Like, every time it gets talked about, it's never in a positive light. I mean, if that was ever a catalyst for decision-making for the game itself. Also, it's always at, like, this early machine level that we end up talking about Anrose. I think every time that I've played at, like, this point, somebody mentions Anrose, and we're talking about her again. And I still remember killing those enemies, killing those wood drones and everything like that. It's always about Anrose. It's always at the same time, too. I'm caught in a simulation. It just keeps happening. It happens all the time. It's like, cause she's still, I think, what, $45? She gets discounted like what, once a year? Like, I don't, like, it's already so costly to get regular outfits and costumes for like the Golden Pass and such. But it's like, her outfit is going to be released this summer, and it's going to come with like a supporter and something like that. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if, like, that weapon for her and the supporter are just, like, absolutely beyond broken or something. I mean, they have to be to make the people who paid for her to get their money's worth. Like, I have her, and I don't think I think I've used her, like, probably, like, outside of the showcase for her, I think I've used her probably about 20 times. Like, I got her to 81, it's like, alright, I feel nothing for you. I just got you so I could put the information out there. Ooh, ooh. Oh, stanky. I mean, it feels like, I'm sure you guys have heard of that $500 Ari skin for League of Legends. It's like, what sort of advantage does a $500 skin give you besides bragging rights and making you look like a fool with your pants on the ground? Because it's like that's how Anrose feels. It's like she brings nothing to the table that's anything great. I think, from what I remember, she does okay in VR. But I'm certainly not going to be using her then. Like, I have other characters that I like using that aren't as bad. League is certainly a different game than I remember, because I remember playing it in like high school 10 years ago, and I only played it like for about 2 matches and that's it. Like I didn't like very much what they had going on, so I ended up just playing a lot more Dota. Like I don't exactly see the, well I don't know, I haven't played a MOBA since high school in the first place. Like I played it like a little bit after I graduated and that's it. Like I don't want to touch that shit anymore. Like here in the United States, it's not a very good economy right now. I think we're in a depression, right? Not so much a depression, but it's like a down economy. So everything costs a shitload and all that stuff, you know. But enough about that. It's like then we have costumes about like that cost $500. It's like damn, bro, I could be paying rent with that shit. I could get some stuff worked on for the car. I could buy a lot of food with that. I could use that to save up for a vacation. Vacation. Of course, you can always solve your money problems through, what is it, the classic tax evasion. But if you do that, though, Uncle Sam finds a way. Professional extortionist. I don't like that games end up costing like $70 now. Oh lord, again with these stinking sound effects. Well, the consoles themselves now are not just consoles. They're full on, you know, they're effectively like a TV box. They're a home entertainment system. Like you connect them to your surround sound, your TV, your like you watch your movies, your shows on them nowadays. That's what a lot of people do. Like they're more than just the game console. Like really, that effectively was there with the PlayStation 2 when it brought itself a good old-fashioned DVD player. Like, I mean, I got my money's worth out of Elden Ring. That certainly is a game that's like, you know, that was worth the $70. Like, I was down with that for like a good 100, 200 hours. I got my money's worth out of it. But see, that's the thing though. That's a product I knew that was going to be worth my time. And I liked it a lot. I can only imagine how much that stinking Shadow of the Erd Tree DLC is going to be if the game was $70. It's one thing for an expansion to have been like $20 in the past. Now it's going to cost an arm and now it's going to cost me a whole tank of fucking gas just to get the game. Also, Shadow of the Erd Tree comes out at like the end of the month. Unfortunately, I have to go back to work during that time, but it's like, man, I'd love to take a week and just sit down and play that. It's this level. Like they realized that with the PS3 there, Darth Neo, and the fact that it's like, what is it? You get your PS3, you can watch your Netflix, your Hulu, all your other stuff. You can watch DVDs you get from the store, your Blu-rays. There you go. It's a Blu-ray. It was a Blu-ray player on the advent of Blu-ray that didn't cost. That cost. It was a pretty penny. That was for sure. It really hurt its market penetration. People who had their PS3s, they liked them. I mean, it was also the format that got adopted too. Because I think it was let's see, it was HD DVD and Blu-ray competing against each other. HD DVD was the Microsoft one, and of course Sony had Blu-ray. We all know who won out in the end, because a Blu-ray disc holds I think, what is it, a HD DVD, you know, it plays in HD and everything like that, but its a holding capacity was only like 10 gigabytes. So and Blu-ray was sitting at something that you could hold like 40 gigabytes of data on like the disc when it came out, which sounds small now, but those small steps back then are what made it worth it. It's why you didn't have like big fat ass game. You could put fat ass games on like on a single CD. PS3 was pretty good. Like it has a really solid selection of games, but for the most part, it's like its problem lies within its cell architecture, and it makes it run like really weird. Like they were trying to probably do a PS2 situation with like Emotion Engine, but the only people who could ever make use out of it were in-house development teams for Sony, because they had all the access to like the architecture and everything like that, and they can make it look really good and work and run flawlessly. That's why games like Uncharted and all those first-party Sony titles like ran really well, looked really good. And then you have other people who try to make PS3 exclusive content. It ends up really looking really shitty and runs poorly. Like a perfect example of this is Bayonetta. Bayonetta runs really, really well on the Xbox. And in fact, it's the preferred version to play on rather than the PS3, because because good old Platinum didn't get the architecture, I guess the architecture information, because it runs like garbage on that thing. Like you cannot play that game without dropping into like the teens and below in the FPS. And it's it's an action-packed game. You really need to be looking at what's going on. Also, I just learned today that Bayonetta is a 32-bit game and only utilizes 2 gigabytes of RAM, which is like which is a testament of its time. That thing was made to run on hardware from 2006. I applaud some of the creativity of PS2 games, because they took ones from like ideas that didn't come to fruition on the PS1 were put onto the PS2. It's a Nintendo 64 and GameCube situation. But even then, it's like it was just like with the PS3, it was also a tough to develop for situation. But they learned how to develop for it anyways, because it was the market share. I think the PS2 for the longest time was like the highest selling console ever, but I think the Nintendo Switch, the Nintendo Switch is now, isn't it? No, the Wii was. Because the Nintendo Switch has sold incredibly well. Like it's hard for me to even tell whether or not it's like oh, I can't remember. God, what a shitty level. 130. I need to bring nukes. Terrible. That's the one I probably should have used the green skill for. Where's Kaoru? Put Torajiro in there. Clinging Nightmare. I think that, what is it, the PS3 released for 600 USD, which is these days not the craziest thing to think about, but back then it's God, that's a lot of money. Like, I remember asking my parents, like, can I have a PS3? I want to have a PlayStation. And of course they looked at it and it's like, my God, that's a mortgage payment, dude. That's not happening. That's a mortgage, that's a home insurance payment and mortgage together. That's the sort of console like if you wanted it that badly when you're a teenager or something, you you went and got a job. It's like, you want it that badly, dude, go fucking get it yourself. Both consoles ended up doing very well for themselves. That is 100%. That is the truth for sure. Like, I can't deny that they did very well for themselves. Sony actually got to keep relevancy, and I think, what is it? They managed to actually swing back for the generation after that with the PS4. Because what is it that Microsoft wanted to do is that the used games thing. Like with the PS4, you don't I don't know what they were thinking with the whole no used game things on a Microsoft account. It's like, doesn't make any sense. Why would you want to kill the used market for, like, you know, people, like, it's a pretty huge portion of your stuff. It's like new sales make up a portion, but used aftermarket sales are huge. People borrow games, or people were still able to borrow games at that time. I think there's like that really famous video for Sony describing like the process of used games, how they do things, and it's just, I think the CEO of Japan's handing it over to the US CEO for Sony, and it's like, that's it, that's all you can do, that's what you do for a used game, and it sold everybody on it. I don't even know what they do for PS5 anymore. Kaoru is a support that has fallen off because of the existence of VR. Like, VR itself and VR and its consequences have been dire for the state of the game itself, because it invalidates an entire system for the game and turns it into something of like, now you just build straight damage and defense. You don't build criticals because it's like, there's no point. Because critical rates get reduced so quickly that there's no way you can make them worthwhile. Like, when I play floor 100, I think I'll crit 3 times across the entire fight. If it lasts a long time, that is. How you doing there, Gorg? The new girl is quite good. She solves problems that don't exist, and she looks pretty doing it at the same time. Like, Phantasma herself isn't actually a strong, like, pure power type of character like someone like Astaroth or Rin is. She's like one of the best supporting people ever. She can play both. She actually does very well in either of them. But I like playing her range because it's a faster feeling setup. Like her regular attack. Like her regular attack shoots projectiles very slowly. But those projectiles have pierce. Like here, we'll take off Dreamclaw for once. And we'll show off just what her basic attack usually does. Because Dream Shadow is just the damage version of her basic attack, Taimanin Art. It fires very slowly, but it does a lot of damage. Like, that's it. She just sits still and fires projectiles. They pierce, which is really nice, but these things fire so slowly. Like, what you're supposed to do with this is you fire off one or two, then move your position, fire off another set of them, and then keep moving. So you constantly are assaulting your enemies in a circle. But the projectiles are so ungodly slow. Like, you're supposed to just overwhelm them with like items, because the projectile's lifespan is like really long. Like, you can play her from range, but I just prefer her playing from melee because it feels faster. No, one of her other cons is that none of her skills have armor, so you have to be very careful when you're doing the attacks in the first place. Like, she can get knocked out of them really easily. Like, the only reason that they look so effective right now is because we're just overwhelming our enemies with lots of damage. Like, when you have something that has like 2 million health and she's got to burn that down, she's not much of like a super ultra nuking type of character. She's there for like, she does solid damage but is very good at support. Well, if I don't use the basic attack upgrade, it is the same thing. No, it's like that's just it. Watch. We'll take off Dream Shadow. We'll use something like Twister Dance. Because that's her basic attack. That's what it does. It just does less damage. Like if I just do that, it's you can't modify the projectile speed either. You can only modify her attack speed, which really sucks. I hate how slow the projectiles are. That's like a personal thing for me. It sucks. However, the property of the attack that it pierces innately is like, that is absolutely enormous. Because I don't even think Yukikaze is a similar situation to this, where it's well, Yukikaze projectiles are very fast, so she doesn't have this problem. Like, she just fires wildly like this. Nightmare works in the way that you use a skill and then it applies one stack of Nightmare. Bitch, you actually moved out of the way. I knew this would happen too. As soon as you use Twister Dance, they'll step out of the way, and that's exactly what happened. Nightmare works in the way that it has 10 stacks at max. You use them to build up each stack. When you hit 10 stacks, it reaches groggy. It makes the enemy forcibly groggy and applies a 20% defense down. Nightmare itself does not give defense down too. That is something very, very important to note. It only gives the maximum. It only gives the stacks of. It only gives defense down at 10 stacks. You just have to start building it up yourself. Goodbye, Kurenai. Here, this will be perfect. Alright. It's 1. It's 2. It's 3. 7, 8, 10. Oh no, that's 10. That's 2 forms of defense down right there. And then you start the process all over again. She could be good in arena, but since she is very prone to interrupts. And see, there you go. It has there's 1 stack of defense down, and at 2 at the same time. They can both exist together. However, getting to 10 stacks isn't always the easiest thing, because she has other ways of applying defense down, giving attack up. She also has the aura that's around her body, that purple sigil. It's eventually what allows her to just have innately 20% more defense. 20% defense down immediately. And it's not like it's an on or off situation, it has a fade effect on it. So when you get up to an enemy and then walk away, it takes like 3 or 4 seconds to fade. We're all groggy. Oh yeah, we're gonna be doing that later, where we take White Feather and just break armor all the time, because she has so many skills that have a ton of hits behind them that she'll just like break armor back to back, no problem. She's honestly one of the better characters to do it with. Like, you just use Clinging Nightmare unupgraded or anything like that, because it hits like, I think 20 times. Like, she's up there with Eleanor in terms of how many hits she does on every attack. Because earlier today I was, well, before Daily Reset, I went and practiced with some of that stuff in VR to go show, like, to see like how effective White Feather would be, and it's like deathly good in there. Like, it's really great for immobilizing all of your enemies at once. Oh, 100%. I love using Lena specifically for that strategy, because all it does is just break armor day in and day out. Because you just keep chaining her, you use her skills. One, you use it to build up particles, then you use it to break armor with her finisher skill. And like, that's all she does, is just sit there and deal thousands and thousands of hits. Like, there's no, like, almost no other character that can do it like her. And she does it so quickly too, and like one of the easiest activations possible. I do like that she has, like, Fantasma has this demon slave with her. It's like a fun little thing about her. Because like Eleanor has like the spirits of the forest, and she has like the water clones. She really feels all over the place with that sort of thing. Fantasma, not so much. They're very cohesive with this design. Is this Lena build going to consist of White Feather main, using the speed sword, and the one of two supporters, and like the Lena supporter for demons, or like Stella damage boosting in general? Because it's like, I think I got that one. Because that is a really good setup against Queen Kanaloa. Because when you if you slow down the effects of that boss, they can't get the invincibility or like immunity to certain damage types. So what happens when you immobilize them completely like that? They can't do it. So Lena is like perfect for that. Dang, I hate that the like Twister Dance is like no damage in VR when you start getting really high up. Because it just straight up bowls over everything that gets in her way. Doggy, no. Oh, we get to actually use her ultimate. Because outside of the heavy pots, she doesn't actually get very good particle generation. Because they probably tuned down, because since she has multiple hits all the time, she needs some, like, her package weapon when you, like, get the $45 one, gives a weapon that works the same way as the heavy pots. It's a particle generator. But I think it's like, what, the heavy pots have better stats, and no, they have worse stats but are easier to attain. Because I remember somebody put out there, they had, like, they bought the package and they 5-5 that weapon, and it only showed it as have like 5,600 stats or something. No, it was like 5,200 in stats, but the gacha weapon version, the one that gives her like increased damage to people with Nightmare, that has like better stats in the first place. But now I want to know though, what do you guys think of her so far? You think she's been pretty good for the people who have gotten her in the first place? Because I think she's been a solid all-around character for the most part. She brings in so much defense shredding. She brings in answers. She's very good. I mean, honestly, she's also one of the better-looking models to date. They really clean up all the airbrushing. They have all the... I've yet to see where they've had any of the models start clipping into each other like that, because she has a very involved costume. Well, right there. Like there's clipping, but it's like it's less involved. We will eventually get to try her in VR today. Because she certainly is a character that really thrives in a group situation. However, if she gets debuffed in any sort of way, like take for instance, this week is Machines Week, so she's prone to getting kicked around a lot. So when that happens, she'll get something like HP recovery down or attack down. It really hurts her. Like, she still has her abilities and can support the team from there, but life for her gets really hard. Oh no, Sakura down. She's all sad now because you managed to beat the crap out of her. Even then, just standing outside of, like, you can effectively start kiting a whole bunch of enemies with this, with her, because she can sit so far away and just do a lot of damage. In fact, that's her whole thing, is like staying as far away as possible from the action so she can survive it. See, as we progress further and further along in the tower, this skill falls off pretty hard, because it never did that much damage in the first place. It's there just to apply Nightmare from a distance. It does a very good job at that. But the meat of her skills usually come from, like, her other damaging attacks. Like, it's mostly just there to, like, you know, grind down enemies so you can help it out with your dailies. See you later then, Darth Neo. This is also when we're using just like regular attack damage up to all enemies Magatamas instead of specific racials. Like, she doesn't need it, at least in here. Or at least right now, because we're still in the 60s. After we get past 75 is when things start getting a bit tiresome for her. Sometimes I wish I had 4 skills for her, though, because it's like, she's a very good beneficiary of having 4 at once, because you could get something like her attack damage booster, having both her extreme dodge, a large projectile, one of her color skills, effectively just having everything she needs all at once. I think they did it on purpose though to make her weapon dealing a 1 in 3 or a 2/3 chance of like being able to put down more stacks of Nightmare, because like, well, Nightmare itself, like, she already applies defense down so much in the first place, and then like her using Nightmare like just makes it like that much easier. Like, she already just has to like graze up against people, and suddenly she's dealing like much more damage.
Yo.
66. Alright, we get to change one more time after this. I love being able to do criticals so much. Yes, there, Blade Shooter. We are trying out Phantasma on Tower to show off what she does for the most part. Get to show off colors, get to show off special effects, and just a level of her capability. Now we're going to, we'll just go full red here. Because you can actually get a lot of good mileage out of the supporters that give increased damage dealt to enemies with debuffs, but you also have to keep debuffing the enemies in the first place, which actually works out really well with her, because she can just, every skill she uses gives Nightmare, which is already good enough in the first place. You can even use Dancer Shizuru to make her like that much faster. It actually helps a lot too. Like, we'll put on Crunching Fear. But later on, we will clear out the event with her, because she has actually really good regular stage clearing material too. Like, her red build is designed around healing and like team support, so she's able to just like survive against the terror that is VR in the first place. She does such a solid job in the first place. I love using her. Yeah, I hear Wuwa's doing pretty good out there. I'm glad that, you know, Kuro Games has finally gotten they've taken the knowledge that they've gained from doing PGR, and they made their own Genshin clone that's actually competing very well. So props to them. There it is. There it happened again. He just jumps out of the way. Like I remember when Woo-Wop first came out, they like, you know, people are always showing us like, oh, it's got the Devil May Cry situation on it. It's so fast, you can do all these things, and then it's like, then I remember it's like, you know, that's nice, but then I remember what PGR turned into is it's like, yeah, those moves are nice, but if we're not clearing the stage within like fucking 12 seconds, it's more or less we're not one-shotting our dailies. If you're not one-shotting your dailies on an optimal situation, we're not playing your stinking game. I think it's also much more generous than Genshin in the first place. God help me. I mean, there's nothing wrong with Eleanor in the first place. She's very good. You can actually use both of them in a nice team composition for AoE power. Like, both of them are very good at machines. Like, well, you need the healer. You need a healer for both of them because neither of them, but only well, I forgot her name. Phantasma's fine with healing by herself. Eleanor isn't. So you either have to run Lapis or Felicia. Felicia actually kind of works better with both of these because Felicia's healing is based off of damage, which is somewhat a lot more efficient to get off than using Ooh, come here. Get him, girls. Like, I try to get me some of the weapons for Fantasma as well. I got one copy of like her gacha weapon, but I'm getting a lot more Kiara gear. I was talking about that earlier. Phantasma's, I hope they've had a pretty weird track record so far, making limited package weapons being like okay at best. I think they're probably trying to avoid themselves having another white feather situation where it's just game-breakingly good and they never rerun it again. What is her, oh, and her new weapon is supposed to be part of like her package that she gets for the wedding dress. Don't forget, guys, it's gonna be discounted when it comes out. That way you can not the package, but it's like Anne Rose herself is discounted. It's such a tiresome situation because Anne Rose herself can never be actually truly free. She's always going to cost money regardless, which fucking sucks. I think someone said it the best though, is that they're front loading all of the pretty girls, all the mechanically good girls, and like They're getting all of them out there because they're preparing for end of service or something. I don't think this game is going to be entering end of service anytime soon. If it does, there's... Well, there we go. That's just the end of it all then. Ina's wedding package was, I think, what was it? Her specific wedding package was released in that year. It was Golden Pass only, I think. So it was very, very... So it was limited in the first place. Like, Golden Pass, compared to any package like the one that she has the wedding package for right now, is like... It's always going to be terrible. Those packages are never ever worth the money besides getting the friendship costume material and the costume itself. Anne Rose is such a sad situation. I wish that she wasn't paywalled, because that's a character everybody wanted for such a long time. #1 voted for character to get in the game. And there we go. That's it. That's all you get out of her. $31 USD for crafting items and the costume. See, that's the best part about crunching fear, is that it hits on summon and it hits on landing. You don't have to look at the enemy to use it. It heals on both hits. It does everything you need it to do to be successful, which is why I like it. Which is why I like Red so much on her. Also, is Phantasma the first winged character we have? It kind of seems that she is, because she has she actually has working wings. It's not like with Kurenai's or Oboro's or Asuka or Murasaki. They all have winged outfits, but it's like this is a working one. Like, these actually work. They flap and shit. They react. Where are you, little goblin bastard? The actual wings. Like, yeah, she actually has... It's the imposter. When the pretender is dubious. Like, she has actual biological wings. They're built into her. What a time to be alive. We actually now have characters with new parts. Oh, you motherfucker. Turn that shit off. Defense up. You can eat a dick, motherfucker. You're not getting defense up ever again. Well, she's like a... She's able to fly because it's, of course, magic. She uses them as, to counterbalance, you know? That's how she's able to fly forward. She doesn't have to lean. She just, uses the massive weight of her chest to help propel her forward. It's a forward momentum thing. Again, this stupid fucking sound effect. They couldn't have made a worse sound effect. I bet the guy who did the Foley for this and like all the production is like, oh yeah, this is gonna be great. It sounds really cool, it's very involved, it's gross. Yeah, I really love hearing the same sound effect replay 20 times when I'm hitting the enemy. I hate this shit so much. Can you change your hair color to green? You cannot. Of course. The small indie development company, when the smaller games can even know how to reduce the peaking on the fucking sound effects and not make them layered like this. I hate this so much. Bro, all they had to do was not this. Put this. Come on, Mr. King. There we go. You're like the first person ever there, Miku, that I've ever heard say that they enjoyed Noah. I know her update made that much of a difference, but I'm glad people are really appreciating her now. She had it so bad for such a long time. Shoujo Mama. Speaking of Noah, there she is. Succubus versus succubus. Bring in the heat. Oh, we died. No, not a surprise there. No surprise there that I died. I wasn't paying attention, and I got hit with the confuse. Because I forgot it was this level too, where you need to save the burst for the boss fight. Maybe this is also one of the other games, not games, but this is like one of the missions where you have to be careful. There she is. I'm gonna get hit with that. Oh, she got caught in the I gotta pull Noah away. Good. Oh my god, if someone could ever apply confuse, they would probably be like, that would probably break the AI for every character, every enemy in the game. Yes, there are actually characters who have better and worse ults. Phantasma is a character who has like a mid-range to low damage ult. Murasaki has like the lowest ultimate damage in the game, but she supplements that fact with the whole thing of she has really high damage basic attacks. Asagi and Tokiko have some of the highest ultimate damage in the game. Like it's not like anything crazy for either Tokiko or Asagi to hit like 9 to 10 million if things get set up in their favor. But since there are so many things now that nerf ultimate damage, you mostly just use them to stop attacks. Like I know in VR I use them to 1, stop the clock, 2, reduce debuffs, and 3 to break to, what do they call that? Knock an enemy out of an attack. You don't ever actually use them for damage anymore. And since ultimates are something they could have done something really cool with, like having like beneficiary ults or something like that, or ults that like give healing or a refresh effect or something like that. Because for right now, most ultimates in the game are just nukes, which are okay at best. Like, nukes are fine, but it's like I kind of wish they would have better effects on usage. Because at this point, they just do what I just said. Their time stops. an ult that cuts a skill cooldown in half, provides defense up. Like, with the inclusion of VR, like, that would be great. Like, just make ultimates worthwhile in there. Just don't make them like the pieces of shit that they are now. Like, they're honestly just afterthoughts at this point. Like, when I heard that, oh, this is perfect. When Noah got her renewal update, her ultimate now no longer transforms her into Big Noah. It just gives her a nuke. That is like one of the saddest situations for me in the entire game, because Big Noah, it now Sue is the only one with a transformative ult. I wish they would have done something more with that. Like, I thought Hebiko would have also been another transformative ult user. But she's not. She just does a nuke. There we go. Those bugs again. They're really good sound effects there, guys. They were so proud of it, they have to make it the loudest thing possible. That's just it. You use ult like it just does damage to clear small mobs. It's damage that you can use to stop the clock too. Okay, it's Chrismaton. Sue does have the most original ult now. It's a sad state of affairs. But I imagine if they started doing stuff like making ults do specific things, like giving special buffs. That's probably something they're going to do in the future. I can feel it. Because it seems like something like they would do, because it's something simple to add, like on ultimate 50% attack buff for 10 seconds or something. So it actually makes it so it's, you know, worth a damn in the first place. I mean, you can build Sue around her ultimate. It does not do the greatest of damage. You can make it last forever. It just makes me wish that the game had more interactions like that. We'll take off Twister Dance for this one, so we can... Phantasmal Mirror is what we're going to use, because it's going to be because this is Anrose and Tempest together. I want the survivability. Can you believe that it took over 2 years for us to craft 50 in the first place? We used to have to do piles of 10 for hours and hours on end. It was the slowest thing in the world to do. And then now we have so much resource accumulation and they put it to 50. And like even now 50 was not enough. Now actually being able to craft like to 999, it's like, yeah. I wonder how long it's going to take for that to get crafted. Now Anrose is just gonna fall down because she gets caught up in the lost in the sauce. Andy Rose, get goodbye, girl. I actually like that it now shows you what what's the maximum you can make. Like I was able to see like, okay, I can make 336 gift boxes. I don't know why that wasn't a thing in the first place. But it's very welcome. I can finally... Also, since now you can actually make 999 gift boxes at once, if you use it if you use the facility unupgraded with no boosts, it takes 6 weeks to do. It takes 6 weeks to craft all those. But if you use it with the 56% boost, you get it takes 3 weeks and 2 days. Shit, we were too slow. Come on, baby. Come on. Gotcha. But even then, it's like if you sit there and... Because the most efficient option has always been to do 2 instances of 25 in the crafting facility. So it only takes 12 hours to craft 50 of them together instead of a whole day. You can use all 3 to make them all at once, but it's like that. It's a lot less waiting. Well, it is more waiting because you get less in the same amount of time. I just see it as more convenient for me because it's like if it takes 12 hours and I'll just start it like before I go to bed, and then I have something to wake up to. Not just wake up to, but it's like when I come home from work, it's already done. It's also less of a strain on my resources. The Magatama grind is one of the hardest parts of the entire game. Thankfully, it's a purely end game kind of step. Because when I was making my sets for VR, I think it took me like 3 months to do. It takes like to make it like a workable set. It took like I think almost, because I remember it takes a good 10,000 orbs to do for a usable set. And I think I've ran out like during it's like that's cumulative though. Like I've never actually had 10,000 at once because I keep using them to re-roll effects. Because the easiest part has always been to, you know, get them and then like level them up to and like max them out. getting those passive effects is like the longest thing in the world. But it's extremely important to actually make VR palatable. But as of late, they have managed to... They put in some sort of, like, anti-cheat warning inside the game now. So now you can't use, like... I don't know how well their anti-cheat is. Because it's like... The speed-up function for a cheat engine is, like, a godsend when making those things. Because it lets you speed it up by, like, 1,000%. So you could roll, like, 150 times in 2 minutes. They don't. You can't do that much anymore because I think they're actually starting to check. Because it would be one thing if, like, you know, I wouldn't having to be using that sort of system if their reroll thing didn't take like 5 seconds to do every time. Like, I want to be able to, I want that, and you can do it automatically to reroll, but I really want to skip the fucking system, and then, so I can just reroll to the next one that if I need to. Alright, Boner Boy, let's see what you got. Taco Slashu. Like, all you have to do is just speed up the process. Like, just like a 50% speed increase. That's all you gotta do. Just make it so it doesn't have to sit there and wait for the animation to do it again. How would I rank the last 3 new girls we got? So the last 3 we have gotten are Lena, Spinel, and Lapis. Yeah. Let's see. They have all been major game changers in their departments. Lapis is the only one that I don't like actually playing, but I have her because she heals the entire team. Spinel has been super fun to play. Lena as well. She's an absolute monster on the field. One of the most fun characters they've ever released. Oh, I whipped it. Truly one of the most fun characters they've ever released. I love Lena a lot. And since she's a company character to Ingrid, I gotta have the costume for both. Oh, jeez. She gonna drop the field? She has not. She just did. Okay. Come here, girls. Come here. Come here. Excellent. Stay there. That is a one. Fantasma is so wonderful. I absolutely just love that she has something that takes the heat off of her. It makes fighting extremely aggressive enemies like Spinel and Lapis super easy. Is Fantasma better than Astaroth or Eleanor? What tier is Fantasma? Wow. Tier lists really have damaged all online gaming communities, haven't they? But it's never not much about skill, is it? It's always about what tier they are. If I'm not using the most optimal solution, I bet I might as well just not play. Astaroth sits at S tier, and so can Fantasma as well. She, however, is not a DPS machine. She's designed to be more of a support type of character. So she's able to keep herself alive and make the team stronger at the same time, which is the most desirable aspect about her for me. That red orb is like absolutely monstrous because I think it does like 8,000 damage on like the hit itself. You game, fucking bitch. That's 40% defense down right there too. Bunny, bunny, carrot, carrot. God, why does this Blue Archive soundtrack have to be so good? Still alive. Dude, ooh, ooh. She typically is going to look very powerful to most people because of the fact that she can apply several forms of defense down at once. Like, by God, being able to stick a person with if it's a good situation, 60% defense down just from her is honestly insane to think about. The PGR soundtrack itself is like really, really good. I know I've used some of the songs from PGR in some of the videos I've done as well. I wish this game had like actually good music. Is it Shady Girls? Yep. I wonder if they actually just recorded a cat from like outside their office and just like used that audio and then like pitched it differently for the goblins. That's the kind of like resourceful Foley stories you like to hear about. Oh, look at, oh god, it's those freaking slime puddles again. I hate them so much. They have so much health. Ah, there it is, Mr. Boner. Come here, Big Daddy. The pretty ladies and the sometimes satisfying gameplay really hold my attention for it. Also, the fact that this game is on Steam. Like, this is a game I would never play on my phone, because I actually tried playing this on my phone when it first released, and it's like, I really want the ability to use a controller for this. The rudimentary AI for this game is one of the best and worst things about it. It's like, it's simple enough that you can really, really exploit it, but it's also so simple, it's like, you really want them to be, you would like the fights to be a little more complex, because it's not like it's not possible with Unity, because I think, to go back to good old PGR again, is, that game, I think, it runs on some sort of modified, like, Unity engine. Just stop chasing me, Kurana. You're so mean to me. You're so fucking mean to Kurana. Only 400 damage. Kamaitachi. And that missed completely. That's what I want, though. Yes. And spank that fat ass of Kiara's over here. I wish they would use the Taimagogo models for something, because it's a cool looking game, and it's like, the models and designs from it are something that I like them. I really do. I wish they would turn them into something else. Now it's just gonna be, now they're just pulling a Capcom and like, all right, that's an IP that died. We're not gonna do anything with it now. We're just gonna sit on it for 1,000 years because apparently we don't see any money in it. Wake up, Joe Biden. Wake up! The defense amounts have changed so drastically. We can only now get 1,000,000 damage out of that right now. I say it like it's a bad thing, but these enemies are getting really bulky. Ooh, oh, it's this one. Where we face the imposter and also Nagi herself. And it's hard Nagi too, with her stinking projectiles at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Nagi's a very devastating character in the first place, and now you actually, when you actually have to fight against her, it's a different story. This is what Fantasma excels at, though. She's not getting hurt. She is in complete control of the situation. There's nothing she can't do. And look, this is traditionally a very destructively powerful character, such as Nagi, and she has no problem fighting her. See, that's always a level that has a lot of trouble for. Nagi herself is a very tough fight, even normally. So then when you're able to actually make her not explode immediately, wow, she's actually very devastating. But now we're on like the last couple levels, so we actually have to start planning out our Magatamas. Fantasma is not so much a tank type of character. Like, she has good HP and defense, but she really doesn't want to get start absorbing hits. She has a taunt. She has the taunt skill, which actually makes a really significant difference for her. Like, it's since the actual clone is invincible, all she has to do is keep lying it down, and she's able to like bait enemies where she wants them to go for the team to attack. Miss Kalia, please. Well, if you're using triple blue with Lapis, you're not really gonna get a whole lot out of it. Well, you actually do, because it's explicitly her slow build. Like, it keeps dealing slows to everything else. It doesn't have the healing she needs, because since she's ranged, if she gets any like chip damage from any type of enemies, it kind of hurts her business a lot, you know. Do I have human Magatamas? I don't think I do. Machines, humans. I do. What are we fighting? I know this is the Mistress of Darkness level, so it's demons. Yeah, I'll put that in there. Because now I have to face the Mass Taimanin. And she's just as annoying as she is in this and as she is out there. Yeah, for the most part, the game just like they'll use Lapis on machines is kind of rough though, since she has to be so close to use all of her skills. She just gets kicked in the face by a ton of enemies and gets kind of screwed over. And since Spinel has the ability to give like the entire team attack buffs, and then you can also combine that with Fantasma's attack buffs, it's like they really want you to use those characters that badly. Because Oboro is actually also one of the most useful characters in VR. It's Asuka. Hello, Asuka. She's transforming. She's morbing out everybody. Good. Actually, that was really good. Dr. Sheckelstein. Esperanto. That was fucking beautiful. I got all the crits I needed. And lo and behold, it's Machine Week. $4.99. Machine. I can find them. I wish they had a function to like sort out this stuff, because it's like I have so many of these like, you know, Magatamas. I would really like to be able to just, you know, clean it out from here. It just makes more sense, you know. Humans, demons, machines, whatever. We're gonna case that IBS, the IB shittins, my lord. Beware our highly ineffective battle walkers. Oh well, they're only about as effective if they have all that health behind them. Because the fucking robots, like, they're easy. You know what makes them so hard is that they have really strong adds together, a bunch of HP, and scaling damage over time. If they didn't have that, they go down just as easy like this. They fucking suck. I hate them. They are simultaneously the easiest and the hardest ones to do. They a bunch of bitches, that's what they are. They go down like a sack of potatoes. Alright. Do I want to do that? Now let's try. We'll quite 100 with this. I forgot that I have Shizuru. The Shizuru supporter on. That's probably been critting so much. Because Phantasma's like base level crit is kind of crap. That Gatling gun is honestly one of the most annoying things in the entire game. It's so insanely strong in like every scenario, and it's completely random when he's gonna do it too. I don't care if I heal Edwin Black's HP like right now, because I'm not trying to focus him. God damn it. Come here. Shoot your stinking bats. Or get out of here with that shit. I hate his defense up so much because if you fuck up his that, it just takes like 45 more seconds to do. Go get him, baby. See there, it's only a million. Sploosh. Ain't no thing, baby. Good job, Astaroth. Yeah, she's doing Astaroth damage, but with like Shiranui booty right there. 230 is really slow, but we could do better. That's fun. Cool. That's how she performs in the tower when she can actually crit worth a damn. Now let's actually go Catastrophe at Yomahara. Oh my god, reading. Okay. My favorite visual novel. Action Taimanin. Let's see, Yomahara. Oh, okay. They're actually in like the Yomahara area. The underground city. It's like the place from Futurama with the sewers. A concrete jungle. This is where all the fancy schmancy demons come in. Oh, Mercy, hello. We shall begin this week's oh my god. Catference. In the back of Yamahara, there's something that's happening. Oh, kitties, hello. The Taro goes first. The southern region was short of food, but a kind human helped. And the east region, on the other hand, has lots of food. Little cat girl. She's actually called a Kate Sith. Oh, cool. They actually acknowledged that in the first place. I'm glad. In charge of all the cats, dude. Understanding the human language of the cats. Well, Miku, I guess the, the path to hell is paved with good intentions. And these girls look good, and their intents are even better, you know? Merci, which meant thank you. Thank you, Miss Mercy. Dude, these cats got two tails. What the fuck's going on with them? Shiro isn't here yet. Oh no. Oh, there's Shiro. I wish they had 4 different cat sprites instead of a calico that looks like this. Big trouble, big trouble. Oh no, big trouble with little cats. It's probably napping. He's frantic about a new water fountain up in the north. It's bigger than that. There's hundreds of demonic silver vines on the outskirts of Yomahara. Oh no. Calm down, everybody. We got this. Oh no, once they get the silver vine, they know it's like... Yes, the two-tailed cats are Nekamadas. But usually, I think they usually have a human form in the first place. Because the Kate Sith is of Western myth with the fairies, and the Nekomata is of Eastern myth. So this actually combines them both. An all-out war would happen for the demonic silver vines. Wow. Is this like the fentanyl of their world or something? Or like heroin? It's like, oh, I gotta break the addiction, just one, and you're hooked. Come back, everybody. Not the demonic silver vine, no! Kitties, don't be hitting the fent cart! Damn, that's one fat pussy, holy shit. Crackle was a beastman, not a fairy. Oh, come on. Is this the same situation with Torajiro then? Because Torajiro is a tiger, so I mean, she's probably a beast person too. She cooperated very well. I'm glad she did. A cat with high combat skills. What the hell? Oh. Fuma's always been a bad character there, Raptor. He doesn't have anything going on. It's just like he's just there to be a professional rapist and an asshole, that's it. But an AT is a total bitch. Get away from the demonic silver vine. Oh, dude, Johnny Silverhand? Is he growing the demonic silver vines? It's a waste if you run away. They're already high. Oh no. Oh, we gotta break the addiction. Knee deep in the situation. Don't do that. Get off of me. Oh no, the nasty. Oh, my naggers. No. Falling deep into the smell. Look at that, they're freebasing off of that shit. Now they're gonna pass it to everybody. Francis. Oh wow. That's new. Exclusive to the demon realm and of the human world. Oh wow, this is where they start, you know, pushing drugs and everything. Place lined with restaurants. Demon Realm Gourmet Street. Ooh, wow. Holy shit, Francis from fucking RPGX actually getting in the game. Where is her supporter, dudes? Come on. She sluts it up, no problem. Put on some fucking clothes, though. Jesus Christ. And they actually maintain that she's a rampant alcoholic, too. Good. Not only is she a heavy drinker, she's also obsessed with munchies. Oh, we actually get Furfur in this event too. One can only imagine where all that food would fit in her. Yeah, we can see where it goes. It's gonna go either to here or in the bat or the professional obesity thing she's got going on, you know. Hey, it's Spinel and Lapis. We don't even have a steady income. Oh, that's so real. She was real for that one. It's like, no, we can't do that. We can't do that. Empty balls beginning to pile up in front of Francis. She's gonna slow down. Oh no, she's getting drunk. Is she finally getting full? Did I lose my purse? Pockets? What kind of pockets are you wearing, girl? You got your prison purse? Is that how it's gonna work up for you? Well, there, Raptor. Francis, I think, came much before Karen did. Night and Yomahara. If that's weird, because it's like they're underground. Night and day are effectively the same thing. A little tipsy girl. It's like, well, she's an Oni, so it's like she can, I guess, handle her liquor. Hey, you forgot to pay. Oh, she's skipping the bill. Could you put it on the tab? You think? Dine and Dasher. Good sirs, please catch that Dine and Dasher. It's the Mafias. Okay. A bounty. If they escape from Yomihara, it would tarnish the city's reputation. I mean, it's not exactly the most cleanest, squeaky clean in the world. Like, all the demons in this game look like they have way more fun than the humans. Like, the humans are just subject to, like, the rules and regulation stuff, so they have to, like... They're the straight man to the demons' like craziness. Like, we got Lapis and Spinel here just hanging out, eating, trying to find some work. A mercenary group that caught Yomihara's Dine and Dasher. Not bad. It's some money. Lena! Stop right there, Dine and Dasher. I think this is like a rat race situation where they have, like, you know, one event's happening. It's like they have, what do they call that thing where it's like, it's a misunderstanding. Like, at the same, like, our A plot, I guess, is the drug addiction, and the B plot for this is apparently Spinel versus Francis.
溶接のムマファンタスマがお相手いたしますわ。
Isn't Edmund Black a vampire anyways? Like someone, no, he's like the prime vampire or something, or well, however they put it in like Vampire the Masquerade. No, he would be like one of those. He's like the primal vampire, so he has like all those fun powers. Oops, are you all right? Stop right there, criminal scum. Oh, it's Lena. Another person? All I need to find is me purse. They chased after the quote-unquote Dine and Dasher for hours on end? Really? Lena police, go get him, baby. That's not true. I just left to look for my purse. I was going to pay when I found it. The shopkeeper left his restaurant for hours in Yomehara just to go find this person who did that. Oh my goodness. This guy has got his priorities all over the place. My purse. Not that she believes in God or anything. Wow, so very religious, they're girls. That you will, ha 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 ha. Oh, Spinel, always so hungry. Miss Spinel, we can hear everything. What were you going to do if I didn't find your purse? Ooh, but I didn't realize it was gone. It's all over the Nomad site. What? Is my photo in it too? But I already paid. Oh my god. Lena Miss Policeman over here. Yep, go head over to work there, buddy. You have a good night now. We're gonna finish up the we're gonna finish up this event for sure. Francis has to go wash dishes now. Word had spread that a hot Oni works at the store, which helps flourish the business. And so with the shopkeeper meeting a hot Oni wanting to work and boost sales, and Frances finding delicious staff meals that go with her drinks, it was a win-win situation. Thus the Dine and Dash incident came to a close. Wow. What do they call that? It's like an after school special. Alright. Who has protect gear equipped? Astaroth does. Sasuga da yo. Let's get Miss Fat Astaroth in there. Oh, it's the same event every time. Yeah. I don't know. Francis can... If it was the RPGX special, Francis could certainly take the heat. Oh shit, there's a change in it. Whoops. Well, we fucked that up. Now we have to go back and read the event. I thought it was going to be all the same like it usually is. No, it's never usually the same in the first place because they have there's 3 different perspectives to the same story. Because it looks like it starts the same with the good old Fent cart. There we go. So let's see, it's rare you can acquire something's human world or someone's life. There are rare plants for the demon realm. The human world is inconvenient. The availability of things from the demon realm is very limited. Seeing Spinel and Lapis in the Yomihara because of a request from the doctor. Seeing them walking the streets, looking at the memo where they've requested the items were written. It was obvious they were new in this town. However, they managed to collect the requested items, and by the time they realized it, it's getting dark. It's already so late. Oh man, I'm fucking hungry. Do we have a grab bite to eat before we go back? I would like to say we should save our money, but I too am hungry. Yomihara is well known for its demon realm delicacies. I think we can go extravagant a little. Okay. Delicacies? I hear there's a street for demon realm delicacies. Like a proud mom. Oh, they're really leaning into it now. Look at our favorite lesbians. However, good looking man. Yeah, looking great there, dude. Ooh, boy. Some of the best liquor in town. Service the best. Everyone who visited us comes back again. Oh, he's a cabaret boy or something. The liquor? Before they could arrive on the street, they were caught by a handsome dude. Lapis would have ignored him, but Spinel stopped every time someone said niche liquor or good food. She's an easy target for touts, and they talked her all with an obvious intent to lure her in. No, Miss Spinel, we don't have any money. Oh, don't play hard to get, ladies. I can't speak it out loud, but you two are so attractive that I want you to give you a service that you couldn't understand. And what kind is that? It was typical of Spinel to react to the word service, and not attractive. How cute, Lapis thought to herself. Miss Spinel. Hey, wait a minute. Illegal soliciting's prohibited. Don't you get arrested for doing it here last week as well? Look at that. It's so strange. Like, all the males are soliciting now. Great. I guess they're really that hard up in an economy there in Yomihara. The knights are on patrol. The shop he's talking about is notorious for ripping off customers, so don't go. That's right. Look at the RPGX special from there. Stick to walking on the main streets. I could have received some awesome service. A lot more trouble than that. If you have business to attend to, do it there. Ah, yes, Spinel's single-mindedness managing her to get in trouble again. All this walking makes it even more tasty. Delicious. Ah, Spinel, how are you this adorable? While she might appear to others as a sister figure taking care of her younger siblings, Lapis harbors emotions towards Spinel that go beyond maternal instincts as she watches Spinel eat with innocence. All right, we got a Yuri couple in the game. Fuck yeah, there we go. She wants this to be forever. So Lapis thought. Oh man. Wow. Now this is fucking cool. What a twist. Oh, the mommy's not for you anymore, guys. The way she looks up at Lapis with a longing gaze, feeling unsatisfied, is so adorable that she could capture the moment in a photo in a frame if she could. Are you okay? You're starting to breathe heavily. I'm okay. My chronic illness is acting up. It's kind of noisy out here. What could it be? The night lady said we'd be safer on the main street. What came into view were two women running in wild ecstatic expressions, and men following them. Spinel and Lapis both tilted their heads in unison at the sight, immediately recognizing that something's amiss. Could you put this shit on a tab, bro? Come on. You think? And then they run out. Dine and dash. Yeah, and it's the same thing. Then they go chase her down again. Lapis muttered to the spot Francis had just been. As she said, Francis had the upper hand here since she knew the place better than they both did. A vicious cycle of catching up only for her to escape again and having to chase. In situations like this, the standard tactic is to block her escape or lure her into a dead end. And neither of them know a good location for that. As they dash forward, they wonder what to do next. Francis appeared again because she's not that smart. In times like these, Spinel's wild instinct or intuition comes in handy. Oh shit, we're gonna lose her again. Francis turned the corner in front of their eyes, hurrying to follow, but this time they were met with shock in their chests. They collided with the men in black who were running towards them. It seems that the same thing happened to Francis. She was reaching out to a man in black who fell after bumping her. Oh, are you alright? Spinel tries to help a man up, and... He hit you in your chest, Miss Spinel. That's capital offense. Should I execute him? Lapis grabbed the collar of the mafia guy who ran to Spinel's chest and forcibly made him stand. Francis took his chances to escape again. Stop right there, criminal scum. Lena joins up. You're on their side, aren't you, Lena? What? There's a misunderstanding here. Spinel and Lapis were baffled to hear that they were on the side. But Lena was faster than they expected, and in a bad way. I won't let you slip away this time. Lena shouted and swung her sword. However, Spinel deflected the attack unharmed. Wait. I don't know what's going on here, but you got us all wrong, buddy. There's been a misunderstanding. We were just passing by. Real criminals always talk like that. I won't get fooled again. No, I didn't lie to you, though. She won't listen. And then the mission happens. Yeah, buddy, F the police right there. Just blow them up. Astaroth style. She can go head-to-head with Spinel. The combination of Lena's speed and Spinel's strength blended seamlessly, turning what should have been a very few exchanges into a breathtaking exchange of skills that left everybody in awe. They were evenly matched like a dragon fighting a tiger. Oh, she's so strong. I didn't know there were such formidable individuals like this in Nomad. While there was some rough edges to Lena, that just means there's room for improvement. If this knight were to refine her skills and grow, one imagine could only what she could become. And that thought excites Spinel. This is one stronger than anyone we've encountered. And Lena mutters as she sharpens her stance. Sensing the impending attack, Spinel also braces herself for an even fiercer onslaught than before. At this rate, one of them will be dead by the end of the fight, and I don't want to make Nomad the enemy. Come to think of it, she misunderstood that we were with the Mafia. What the fuck happened? Hola, Commandant. But perhaps Spinel was involved. Lapis directed her ice-cold gaze at the Mafia. He quickly shook his head in panic. I got no idea. By the time I woke up, that night lady was beating the hell out of me. We were just... The Mafia waited a moment and remembered. Yeah, that cat beast woman came to us and became happy. Not happy. I don't know, but I got a cat beat woman are the cause of the problem. She had to fight the cat beast to prove their innocence. Oh, Francis is trying to leave again. Where do you think you're going, young lady? Get her, she's the Dine and Dasher. No, it was just bad timing. I wasn't doing it on purpose, please. When she offered to apologize for causing trouble and provide compensation, Spinel declined. Rushed to conclusions again. Don't worry too much. Everybody makes mistakes. They all have those days all the time. And even get scolded by Lapis over here. Don't go around telling that to everybody. I thought it was rather unrealistic to boost the mercenary group's reputation by capturing a Dine and Dasher, don't you think? It's kind of lame. Oh, that hurts, bro. Come on. Catching a Dine and Dasher with a whole mercenary group, that's kind of a waste. It's rather the better things that turned out this way. Well, I know what's going on, but I'll put more effort someday and it'll be good news, I'm sure of it. Let's discuss the mercenary group's matter with everybody else. But the bounty, though, I really wanted to give the group a taste of the sweet stuff. Ah, young lady, thank you for chasing out the Dine and Dasher. She just seemed to have lost her purse, so no harm done. Save me from any unnecessary expenses. Those unnecessary expenses were what we sought after. That Dine and Dasher paid, so it doesn't count anymore. Oh no. Is there anything I could do for you for chasing her in the first place? Anything? How about some food we can eat for days? The food here was amazing. I'd like to share it. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good idea. Can you cook us something like that? That I can do. Just make sure to spread the word. The more customers, the better. Clever. Spinel and Lapis get their hands on souvenirs to share with the group for free, and we're able to do the favor the doctor asked for him. Easy as that. Does anybody has green equipped? I think she still does. Just one more. Yeah, that's fine. One more story event, then we'll clear that out. Of course, we gotta skip all the beginning stuff again because it's the same every time. Its HQ is right here in Yomihara, 300 meters below Tokyo. The Palace of Darkness. Ooh, this is the Lena perspective then. There's a gateway that leads back to the demonic realm, and it's a very important place of interest for all demons that come to the human world, as well for humans that are related. Alright, a new day. With a determined shout, Lena comes into the streets of Yomihara. In her hand is a sakura blossom blade that seemed to be her symbol of confidence, and wearing clothes with lots of frills didn't seem to blend too well in the city. This is Lena, an official knight of Nomad. It was just that she seemed a little too in over her head to be a knight. She had a loose atmosphere that proves that she still had some weak spots. I told you, you're not allowed to do business here. Never heard of it, so pay up. Ah, bullshit. You can't expect me to pay this much. It's the law, man. If you can't pay, then you give up your spot. You son of a bitch. A mafia and orc were fighting in the back alley, but that's just something that happens every day. The mafia guy pulled out a gun, but it was super small. It didn't have the power to destroy something too big. So Lena left them to themselves and resumed her patrol. It's quite peaceful today. Only a few robberies today? Oh, it's very peaceful. I've only had one murder. Mommy, where are you? What's the matter, little boy? I lost my mom. Oh, you're lost, right. Everything looks so much the same around here. I'll give you a ride. Let's go find her. She helped the kid find her mom. Oh, she's so noble. Oh, this is the part where they miss. Hey, they're soliciting. Here we go. It was Lena's good-hearted personality. She couldn't ignore someone having a very bad day. Also, someone who looks like that in a place like this, you know. I lost it. My purse, I lost it. Oh, your purse. A lost item in Yomahara. That's too hard to find. With Gyaru fashion and a sobbing voice that didn't match, Lena was surprised that she had just said those words out loud, which made the woman more upset. I see. Well, I'll try to find it. Thanks, lady. Lady, I'm a noble member of the Nomad Hell Knights. And so she goes off looking for a lost purse. Don't make a scene in broad daylight. Just knocked him out. It's like, geez, Lena, you could kill this guy. Not paying his bills for food. Trouble like this was every day. There needs nights to solve the problem. However, Lena's bright attitude was somewhat like a beautiful sakura blossom in the gloomy atmosphere. She's what, a rainbow in the dark, as they call it. I never thought I'd find the purse. Ah! They're still going at it. When she came back, the Mafia and the Orc were still fighting, but something was off. They left their guns and swords on the ground and chatted like a festival. It would seem they had come to a good conclusion, but it also seems that they were overreacting. Drink up, it's on the house. Ooh, water. No, I'm not. Oh, it's, yeah, water, quote unquote. It's so sweet. Oh, it's the demon roots. Listen up, stupid. I said it's on the house. Don't be so full of yourself. I'm buying. No, I'm buying. Did they drink something weird? They're probably drunk. Oh, it's the demonic silver vines. It's the orcs gonna make you happier. Ooh. That's fiery talk. You brought this on yourself, asshole. They're gonna fight again. I was gonna overlook a back alley fight, but at this rate, they're gonna harm everybody else. I'll make you come to your senses with some pain. She's gonna knock some sense into them. I can already see it. Oh, I see why this is such a difficult fight for people. Because you are literally put on both ends, and you have to fight Lapis and Spinel together, who are already a very devastating pair of enemies. I mean, I make it look so easy, but it's, you know... I imagine the hard mode mission is going to be a lot tougher. What's a Nomad Knight doing here? Hey, I gotta ask you something, guys. Come back. Shit, they're fast. Escape, everybody. If you get out of here, they'll torture you so brutally you wouldn't wish you died, but they'll kill you in the end. What kind of reason is that? We don't do anything like that. Oops. Oh, no. They ran into Francis, Spinel, and Lapis. Oh, are you alright, baby? And Spinel screamed as she withstood the impact by perfectly balancing herself. He hit your chest, Miss Spinel. That's a capital offense. Stop right there. Okay, it's... Alright, just more of the same. It's just slightly different perspectives. Yeah. Alright. Okay, now we can get started on that. That's the one thing I can't really get down with these events, because it's like, you know, traditionally they're usually just one event that you do, and it tells you the story all the way through. Like, they tell you, like, the events in a linear fashion, but you can do these out of order, which is fun the first time, but it's like, you know, then I have to do this, like, 3 times in the first place. I'm like, that's nice. Like, okay, I heard you the first time, ladies. Come on. hits. It's not enough to just beat my enemies to death. I have to do it in a certain fashion. Great. Oh, I know who can do this. In fact, she can do it so well I don't have to worry about anything. Get that in there, and good, that'll be fine. Ah, shit, I didn't equip it correctly. Well, that sucked. Oh my god. 30 combos is always such a shitty requirement. Because then you get too strong and you can't actually do the mission. Then you made my go-go nuts coconuts. Because I need... It's wonderful. I mean, Emily can get the 30 hits one done pretty easily, but it's like, oh, I don't want to have to get her out to do that. All right, how does the new shop work? That's what I want to see. Instant exchange? Or does that mean it clears out the entire thing at once? Ah, I can buy... Ah, shit. Okay. Why does it do it instantly? I don't want it. I just want to buy a few of them. Okay. Well, shit. What does it take to get the weapons again? It's 250, which is easy enough, but then it's 50 of those. So it takes a lot. Alright, do I have the drops booster on? Yeah, okay, we have drop booster on. Catastrophe. They call it catastrophe, but they only had like cats in the beginning. What did they mean by this? They couldn't have meant something by that at all. Well, at least it's the weekend, so it gets the 15, segment done. That's better. That's a lot more. My goodness, being able to do this 15 times at once is like such a godsend in terms of these kind of events. 9 seconds is pretty good. I bet I can make it do better by getting a better, much more easier nuke. There she is. Because towards zero makes the damage much more easier, but what I want is to be able to hit all enemies at once. To save 1 second. 1 whole second. Alright, where does that put us in terms of resources? 626 and 3080. How many does that take? 50 total. 25. 10. And I have enough for Dragon's Roar, good. I'll just use her for blue, because it makes it so much easier. Mm, 10 million damage off a non-crit. We have to get less than 30. We have to do the 30 hits in one next. See, they only show the condition for this one to be like, oh, you just have to equip 3 supporters and you're good to go after that. Alright, Astaroth, you need to have a different set of skills put on there because you need the flamethrower. Satellite Flare doesn't get a lot out of it, so... Serpent Blaze. Penis Dive. You mean it immediately didn't kill her? I guess I'm not playing Astaroth correctly if she didn't look at him directly and they didn't instantly die. Not bad at all. Damn, this reminds me I have to go do some laundry afterwards because I gotta get ready for the trip on Monday morning. Because when I get up later this afternoon, I gotta go buy some stuff for the trip. We'll be heading over to San Francisco, and for the most part, it's like, it'll be nice, but like having to pay the prices over there in California is something I'm not exactly excited about. Because there's other stuff I'd like to do over there. But since it is the family vacation situation, it's like, you know, they have the car, so it's like we gotta do what they want to do for most of the parts. I think we'll only be spending like 5-6 days there. Because then it's like on Monday I gotta go back to work. The sad reality of the situation. 6:48, 30:56. That's fine. I need enough for 10. Get the Fatal Needle for Rin. And just that little bit more, and we'll have enough for Sora's Bow. Very tiresome. Do I actually need... No, I could probably do this with... No, it's kill enemies. It's kill a certain amount of enemies, so it means you just have to fill the field at once. Nice. I like that. If you just know you put it in the right spot, you can keep killing like 6 enemies at once, which is great. Yep. Now that's efficiency. Even, not bad. I can really feel like I'm losing the gas on this one. It's like, typically I don't like to stream extremely long amounts of time. 'Cause I think the longest one I've ever done was like 6.5 hours. That was to finish Phantom Pain. Damn, the hitbox for that is huge. Like it's hitting enemies straight off to the side, and it's like even behind her. Because I knew it was big, but it's like, Jesus Christ. Is that enough? Yeah, it's enough. Of those. 250. Ah, 74. Damn. We'll use a sweep ticket for that one because it's like I don't want to do that. How many do I have? That's actually like a low roll situation. Damn. Excellent. Now those are clear. Now we'll finish off our day with, of course, good old-fashioned BRVR. This week I got up to 86. So let's take her to a common floor that everybody has. Good old 31. Switch her with... Where is she? Let's see, I need to put demons, not demons, I need to put machines back on. Even though she's not really the one that needs the most DPS boosting materials, she certainly needs like defensive stuff. Because losing her is pretty much, you're about to take a major hit to your DPS in all regards. We're still with red, we do not need criticals. Put her on. Then the white feather special. Phantasmal mirror, of course. That's all said and done. Now Miss Spinell needs her gear again. Yep, she's got machine boosters. Does Astaroth still have hers? Yes. She does not need the Lapis supporter because that does not provide anything for her. It makes her go faster, but that's about it. Take that off. Alright. And finally, now we get to VR. We're gonna put this baby to the test, and frankly, she does quite a good job in the first place. Not bad at all. Nobody took any damage. Well, they did take damage. But it's like... There you go. Good old Astaroth actually just managing to bowl over everybody in damage again. Slowly ascend in terms of stats. Because you get to see her in her natural habitat, which is good old VR. Look at that, we actually have skill damage down and skill cooldown increase. An effectively lethal combination. Like when she's effectively having to wait for her skills like this, she's kind of a sitting duck. Which would really help with the fourth skill in her having the ability to just keep shooting projectiles. The ability to shoot projectiles as much as possible that actually do pretty solid damage. Like there it goes again, increased ad health, all that stuff. See, there you go. If you do it right, you're actually able to get her out of the animation. But even then, it only makes so much of a difference. Because all Astaroth has to do is just look at enemies the wrong way, and it's like, it's still over. Though I guess it does pay to be a little strategic with your, well, I don't know if you can be strategic with those dodges, because you just sit there and you'll get blown up. Like if Spinel didn't get, like, microed right there, she'd be dead. But that's what you get when you go for a full damage comp. I guess it doesn't really show Fantasma to her best of strength when she's on a team with Astaroth. Look at that, Astaroth will just sit there and do like 17 million damage. Nobody ever gets a head in edgewise. So just effectively just dropping the field is all she's good for. She drops the field, gets in close for the 20% defense down immediately. So she can just blow up the enemy. Oh, there you go. Our entire team now is completely debuffed. This is a perfect situation to show. She's gonna get bled to death. Yep. Oh, fantastic. But that's just the nature of VR right there. When things go sour, they go sour real fast. Because both of them died right there. You can't exactly leave her completely alone. $50,000 damage, my goodness. We could certainly try with someone else other than Spinel. Let's try Lapis because that's probably going to be a common combination for people. Now Lapis doesn't exactly need all the damage in the world, she just needs to survive. And she has a very hard time of doing that in the first place, when she's up against getting totally butt-fucked by robots all day, every day. Like, life for her is very hard in this. She could probably do with this. Piercing dash gem support. It's all we can do really. Since everything else, since our entire team is consisted of demons, we can actually use that supporter to actually really solid effect. Oh, look at that. Our entire team is debuffed again. This is a nice, perfect example of the Phantasma mirror drawing away enemy fire so that she can actually keep the rest of the team alive. Because all I want to do is make Astaroth survive for as long as possible. See, that couldn't have gone any better. We had against all odds situation, because it's like, she's not going to do much damage. I know Lapis isn't going to do anything. There you go, 23 million damage, because all we're trying to do is just buff her as much as possible. 3690. We'll try it at 50. When things start getting really shitty. Granted, I also take a really long time on these missions, which is not good on these because the longer you stay, the more damage they do. Not bad at all. But that's the prime example of what you use Fantasma for, is all 3 of those robots right there were in the middle of their walking animation where they stomp 4 times. All 4 of them walked straight into each other, lined up perfectly. Phantasma was able to get her skill off. She was able to hit all 3 of them and the ads. Not to mention Astaroth got her nuke off too. And she hit all of them at once, which is exactly what you want to happen and what you set up for with the mirror. Because the mirror is effectively just built for VR. It's built to taunt these stupid assholes together. Like, all Fantasma needs to do is just survive long enough for something good to happen. Like, you could essentially just replace Astaroth with someone like... Because you can essentially replace Astaroth with someone like Micah or Emily, who can sit in the back and not do anything. Which is the most important thing. Because all Astaroth does is just drop her meteor, and you just wait out until the end. Alright, but that's enough out of me today. We took a look at everything that Miss Fantasma has to offer in terms of her gameplay aspects. She sweeps events, clears the tower, and she provides such an important support benefit towards VR that she'd be at such a loss without her. I mean, if you see her in motion, she does everything that you could ever want and more. Oh god, it's fucking lagging now. She does everything you could want and more. And honestly, that's all I could ever ask for in terms of, like, a support character. She can't heal, but she certainly can make her damage buffs, debuffing, and everything else worthwhile. I mean, we even paired her today with White Feather Asuka, and we actually got a lot of good out of it. I liked it a lot, at least. But that's Fantasma for you. She really knows how to get it going on, and frankly, you should probably pick her up since she's a really solid replacement for Shizuru or anybody else who was doing debuffing beforehand. But it's been a while. Let's hope to see you all next time. Thank you everybody for stopping by. It was really fun today. And as always, find it. I'll see you next time. Goodbye everybody.